Hey, welcome, Soul family, to Max and Mello's Architects of Soul. I'm Max Soul.
And I'm Mello Soul. Today, we're not just celebrating the stars, we're honoring the hidden heroes, the backbone of the Motown sound.
Oh, we love them.
Oh, yeah, the incredible funk brothers and the brilliant writers and producers who crafted those hits.
And they sure were brilliant. As artists with soul and a new vibe, their lessons in craftsmanship and collaboration are a blueprint for us and our peers. And their musical impact on the songs that we write, well, it comes directly from listening to their genius.
Yeah, this is about understanding the real architecture behind the music.
Yeah, the synergy, so to speak, that this band had with the producers and the writers, it's unbelievable. So sit back and get comfortable. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Max and Mello's Architects of Soul, and we're talking Motown today.
Okay, Soul fam, let's start with the undisputed kings of the groove. And you may or may not know them as the Funk Brothers, but whether you know them and know who they are or not, you know what badasses they were and how incredible the music of Motown and what came out of through these guys was. This collective of studio musicians, including the legendary James Jamerson on bass, played on virtually every Motown hit.
An amazing thing, Max.
Oh, phenomenal, right?
Yeah, and also another spot to notice that string between all these architects.
That's right. You see that
digging
string?
in for a minute. Yeah, digging in for a minute. Their primary lesson is the power of the rhythm section.
Yeah.
Because James Jamerson's melodic bass lines completely redefined the role of the bass in popular music.
He was the hammer.
Yeah, he didn't just keep time. He gave the songs a second melody.
Oh, he did, absolutely. Laying on the floor or not. Right? This teaches us that a song's foundation is everything. So it's not just the catchy beat. It's about a unique swagger that makes a song unforgettable. Mm-hmm. The Funk Brothers feel was so distinctive, it became the Motown sound itself. So now a word about that reference to Jameson on the floor. So what I know is that Marvin was recording What's Going On, and he wanted Jameson to play bass on that song, and really bad. So they're in the studio, and well, where was Jameson? Where was Jameson? Anywhere to be found? No, he was not. And where did they find him? Well, guess where they found him? They found him in the bar, and he was smashed, inebriated, 3 sheets to the wind. You could look at it a million different ways. Oh, he couldn't stand. And Marvin was like, he was undaunted. He's like, if he can't stand, he can lay down and play on the floor. But he got to play, and he did. And, well, we all know what happened to What's Going On.
The bass line in particular in What's Going On.
Oh, my God. Yeah, it's amazing. That record is pivotal in our world.
Yeah.
It's some story, isn't it?
Yeah.
As musicians, we all have our foibles, though, right? And despite their genius, the Funk Brothers remained anonymous for many years. They were paid per session with little or no royalties. Not much, right? It's a tough lesson about the music business, which everybody ends up learning about this, that even the most essential creators can remain uncredited. For us today, it's a powerful reminder to protect your art and understand your value.
Yeah, as we talked about last week, these guys figured it out right on the spot. So all those enduring, incredible melodies and hooks that happened right at the moment.
At the moment.
Yeah, and despite all of that incredible talent, no one would know.
No one did know.
Yeah, and they would get nothing for it except their basic session, like one of the pitfalls of being a studio musician.
It is one of the pitfalls, and that's unfortunately, this alludes to the issues that we talk about. And, of course, of Berry Gordy's assembly line.
Mm-hmm. Right, you are, Max. The Funk Brothers, despite their incredible talent and essential role in creating the Motown sound, faced a number of significant challenges, which we mentioned in the earlier, the lack of recognition,
Which is really important, Mello. If you think about it, one of the most prominent challenge was this anonymity. One of the most prominent challenges was their anonymity to the public, because Berry Gordy's assembly line process, well, it prioritized the artists and their hits, not the players. Players had really not much to do with it. So the Funk Brothers got no credit on most of the records that they played on.
Yeah, not until the 70s anyway.
No, and
the Marvin's What's Going On album was the first time they actually were listed by name.
Right, but they didn't tour with the artists either.
Right.
So that meant that great, their music was heard by millions, but no one knew who they were.
No.
Well, it led to little fame or financial compensation. If you think about it, look at your bank account, right? From this monumental contribution as a studio player, you got nothing, which ultimately led to financial and career struggles. And, well, you know where that happened, right? The musicians were paid on a pro-session basis, as we said before, not for the massive royalties their songs generated. And while the pay improved as Motown's success grew, it was still a far cry from the income of the stars they backed.
Right.
This financial instability forced many of them to moonlight by playing for other labels.
And other artists.
Yeah.
And when Barry Gordy found out, he fined them. He would find them like the money, the same amount of money that they would get paid for those other sessions.
Well, that's a testament to how Barry Gordy was fiercely protective of his sound and his business.
Yeah.
And that's why, Mello, when Motown moved from Detroit to Los Angeles in 1972, many of the Funk Brothers got left behind, discovering the move from a notice on a door. How fucking messed up is that? Right?
Yeah, that's messed up.
Well, welcome to the music biz. That's all I got to say.
Yep, and naturally, this abrupt dissolution of the band led to significant career struggles for many of its members.
Yes, and many personal challenges as well. Many of the Funk Brothers also battled their own personal demons, as everybody does in the music business, it seems. Right, most notably, substance abuse. Hey, there's this uncommon thing, right? No, not really. So the legendary drummer for one of the two drummers at Motown was, Benny Papazito. Yeah, Benny Benjamin, who was a great drummer, but he struggled with alcohol and heroin addiction, and he didn't make it past 43.
Yeah.
He just didn't.
These struggles highlight the difficult and often intense life of a professional musician during that era, far removed from the glitz and the glamour of the artists that they helped create.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's quite a story, Mello. And speaking of stories, if you're vibing with this,
if you're liking what you hear and what we're laying on you,
yeah, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel, because your support helps us keep these stories alive. One more thing before we go to break.
Yeah.
I just want to talk about, last week we talked about Philly and the 24 track. And to just underline how great the musicians were at Motown, as we said earlier before, everything they did was one take. They didn't have a 24 track. So everybody was in the same room, and if you made a mistake,
we all had to start over.
That's right, we had to do it again.
Yeah.
And they got to a place where they just played it all in one take.
Yeah.
So every Motown song that you listen to is a one-take thing.
Very often what you're hearing is the artist learning the song.
3 guitar players, a couple of bass players, a few keyboard players, a ton of horns, vibes, and singers all in the same tiny room. And I'm telling you, if you've ever been to Detroit and you've seen how small that room is, as I was saying, you see how small that room is.
When I was a teenager, my band used to rehearse in actually it was my grandmother's basement, Nana's basement at my grandmother's house. We used to rehearse there every day after school. The basement we rehearsed in is twice the size of the Motown studio. And that's how small it was.
And if you think about the incredible music that came out of that place, let's talk for just a second about Jamerson quickly, like the bass line on Heard It Through the Grapevine. Both versions, right?
He played them
totally different bass lines, but he nailed them as if they were completely two different songs, not the same song being done in a different way. That's professionalism. I mean, whoa, right?
All right, Soul family, so we're going to be taking a break, but when we come back, we're going to be shining a light on the architects behind the songs themselves, the master writers and producers.
Stay with us. Max and Mello's Architects of Soul will be right back.
We're back on Max and Mello's Architects of Soul. Let's talk about the masterminds behind the pen, the legendary trio of Holland Dozier Holland.
HDH. I love it. Their lesson is one of unrelenting hit making and structural perfection. How's that for a phrase?
Yeah.
They wrote hits for everyone from the Supremes to the Four Tops, and their formula was way a finely tuned machine with every part, from intro to chorus, designed to grab you and never let you go.
That is so true.
And known for their well-oiled process with Brian Holland and Lamont Dozier creating those melodies and arrangements, and Eddie Holland focusing on the lyrics. Their work teaches modern artists about the art of songwriting as a craft.
Right, you are, Max. And they were creating songs that are meticulously crafted to absolutely resonate with listeners.
A powerful lesson by today's artists.
And then there's Norman Whitfield.
Norman.
A true visionary.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, his lesson about artistic risk and sonic innovation, while HDH perfected the pop soul sound,
Which they did.
and they really did, Whitfield pushed it into a new and psychedelic territory.
Psychedelic shack, baby.
Yeah,
We're talking
especially
about
with the Temps.
Temptation, you
His stuff
bet.
with the Temps was really like, they were a little resistant
Well,
to it
that's
first.
yes, they were. But once they got into it, again, look at the time frame, right? And you think about the revelations and the revolution in the 70s and the late 60s. So his lesson is about artistic risk and sonic innovation, and he pushed Motown sound into a new territory. That whole psychedelic thing, the whole scene with the funk and the soul, with the Temps, man, wow. The layered instruments, extended arrangements. He was pushing the envelope.
Just the intro to Papa Was a Rolling Stone by itself, just the intro, could be a whole record. That's, you know.
And again, this goes to the players at Motown, because they came up with that stuff right then and there. That shit came out of their brains at that moment.
Totally, Max. Norman Whitfield's work teaches artists the value of constantly evolving their sound and not being afraid to break the mold. And he wasn't afraid to let songs stretch out and experiment with layered instruments and effects. And he taught us to constantly evolve that sound.
Right, he did. And he showed that you can challenge a popular artist to grow and create something even more profound.
And but speaking of breaking the mold, though, we have to mention Sylvia Moy.
Oh, yeah, no, there's an unknown.
Yeah, because she was, the first female producer at Motown just before Valerie Simpson. Anyway.
Which is huge in itself for the time frame.
Exactly. She was originally a songwriter. She, according to Barry Gordy's autobiography, To Be Loved, Sylvia Moy was directly responsible for Motown keeping Stevie Wonder, because Barry Gordy was...
Yeah, they were going to get rid of him, right?
Yeah, because Stevie's voice began to change. He was a teenager,
It was
of course.
puberty.
Yeah, and Barry was about to drop him, but then Sylvia Moy came to Barry Gordy and said, if she could come up with a hit for Stevie, would he reconsider keeping him?
Wow,
and he agreed.
That's amazing.
Exactly, and so she wrote, co-wrote along with Stevie, "Uptight, Everything's All Right," with Hank Cosby, actually.
Right, and she. This is the most unbelievable thing, because Stevie, it's not like someone was writing in Braille for Stevie to read the lyrics or to learn the melody, by reading it.
Right.
She had to sing it to him.
She wrote the lyrics to the song there in the studio, and then she conveyed the lyrics to Wonder by singing into his headphones as he recorded.
Can you imagine what that would take?
That's crazy.
I mean, just to actually compartmentalize it enough. The only person I think that could ever do that is
Stevie. Nobody else could
Ain't nobody could do that. Stevie Wonder's a musical genius.
Exactly. And then Sylvia went on to write, other hits. Of course, she wrote My Sylvia Moore, I Was Made to Love Her.
These are monumental Motown tunes.
Yeah. She wrote songs for Martha and the Vandellas, and she also wrote This Heart of Mine for the Ozzy Brothers.
That's quite a co-writing career she had.
Oh yeah. And just again, like I said, she was the first female there at Motown, and she was one of the first females, period, in the
itself
business.
Is so pivotal, especially for those years. It's unbelievable. These architects are truly all high-wire artists pushing the boundaries of what soul music can be. It's so unbelievable for us to do this and to talk about these incredible lessons from all these songwriting lessons. Well, we're going to step aside for a second, leaving the glory for a minute, and when we return, we'll talk about the genius of Smokey Robinson and the enduring legacy of Barry Gordy.
Don't go away.
Thanks for tuning into Architects of Soul. Our music is waiting for you. Hey, welcome back, Soul Seekers. Now for the final pieces of the Motown puzzle, Smokey Robinson and Barry Gordy.
So if y'all have been following us, you know we've covered Smokey earlier in our evolution of the show.
That's right, Mello, we did. But what we didn't do was tell everybody where the name Smokey came from before we even talk about his lessons, right? So let's quick ping back. Smokey Robinson was born William Robinson Jr. No sign of being called Smokey or any reason
no
to
reason
be
at all,
called
Max.
Smokey.
Except for one thing, apparently.
Yeah, Mello. Apparently, as a kid, he and his Uncle Claude liked to watch cowboy movies. Who the hell knew? So Uncle Claude, who was his godfather, gave him the name Smokey Joe. And from the time he was about 3 years old, if anybody asked his name, he would say it was Smokey Joe.
Yeah. Smokey dropped the Joe when he was around 12.
I'll bet he did.
And he's been known as Smokey Robinson.
When the first girl said something to him, Smokey, that's such a cool name.
Your name ain't Joe.
Yeah, right. It's a great backstory about something you'd never know.
Yeah.
Smokey's lesson is the ultimate one in the duality of an artist and a craftsman. So, as a songwriter, his lyrics are poetic and beautiful. But as a record executive, which a very powerful executive for Motown, he was smart about the business. And there's the lesson. Therein lies the lesson. He teaches us that we need to be both dreamers and savvy business people.
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah, his example is a powerful reminder to protect your art and understand its value.
Right?
And then there's Berry Gordy, the ultimate architect of the Motown machine.
Yeah, he's a taskmaster.
Yeah, inspired by his work on the auto assembly line, he, like we mentioned earlier, he created a system of quality control and talent nurturing. He saw the potential in the Funk Brothers and his writers and built a brand that was a cultural movement.
Well, that's right. His lesson is creating that ecosystem for success. His vision was about more than just selling records. Gordy's vision was about building a cohesive family of talent and a unified brand, which allowed the label to become a cultural phenomenon, an incredible task.
Yeah, Max. It was about creating a musical family. This teaches us the power of community, collaboration.
Collaboration, one of our favorite words.
And a unified vision. These masters from the rhythm section to the CEO show us that soul music is the product of many hands, hearts, and minds.
And if you're feeling this deep dive, please hit that like button and subscribe. It truly means the world to us. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Max and Mello's Architects of Soul.
Don't go too far.
What an incredible journey, Mello. Well, we've honored the unsung heroes who built the Motown sound, from the Funk Brothers groove to the genius of Holland Dozier Holland and Norman Whitfield to the holistic vision of Smokey Joe and Berry Gordy.
That's right. Their lessons are not just for us, but for every artist striving to create something lasting.
That's right. What's lasting is what we need.
Yeah, they teach us the value of collaboration and the courage to push boundaries while respecting the past.
Yeah, lessons, Mello.
That's right, Max. And what makes it most important when we get to this part of the show
is remembering why we got into this.
Yeah.
And what we need to learn to continue the journey and be our own architects of soul. And so we end every show with the same maxim.
Keep that soul fire burning, protect your sound, nurture your creativity, own your voice, and remember the lessons from the giants who came before.
And yes, protect your masters and seek out wise mentors who can guide you on your journey. And until we next meet, peace and soul, y'all.